What's up, guys? Casey Williams, EliteFTS.com. Happy Friday. So what I'm going to address today, what Odie's going to address with me today, safety squat bar. Not even so much some of the do's and don'ts, but intentionality in hand positioning when using the safety squat bar. I think even if you use it incorrectly, there's still plenty of benefits to gain from it. But with some of this insight, I think you can look at your squat and look at why you were using the safety squat bar and match up some of those, the benefits with some of the weaknesses that you're trying to address in your programming. So, I didn't really set this up very well for myself, but we'll make do. All right, one of the first things I see is somebody who already has a weak upper back and grabs that bar and pulls it in nice and tight, but then doesn't do what they need to do to create a squat position that will help them build that upper back, if this makes sense. So one thing we see is this, bar in nice and tight, open up normal squat, and then they get bent over, right? Not a good feeling. Everybody's been there before. Makes you feel pretty bad about yourself. Again, we don't like this, and then I end up in a real, this doesn't mimic my squat. I hope it doesn't mimic my squat at all. The other one I see, and this is for Nick, he'll laugh at this, is trying to gain momentum out of the hole using the squat bar. So squatting here and driving out of the hole. What that tells me is your lats aren't tight. If your lats aren't tight, then some of that energy coming from your hips never gets to the bar. We lose it. So any looseness in your back, whether it's your lats, your thoracic, your upper back, is bad for business. In the same way that in your bench, driving your hips up off the bench does not help the bar go up. Driving the bar like this, trying to come out of the hole, does not make this any lighter. So the three ways that I look at using this bar are, there are three different positions. One is a pulled position, one is a neutral position, and one is a pressed position. The reason you would use each of these, we'll start from the beginning. If I pull that bar in this pulled position, I want my lats to be tight. So I pull everything in nice and tight, proud chest. When I squat, I have to be very cognizant on the way down of maintaining that torso position. And at the bottom, my initial drive is here, back into the bar. If I drive hips first, then I end up here, no matter what. So it's gotta be, I gotta fight that bar position on the way down, maintain an upright torso, constantly driving my neck into that pad, boom, back out of the hole. So that's the first one. If you have trouble with a weak upper back or a bad position on your eccentric, that might be a good tool for you. Second one, neutral position. This is the one that I tend to use the most, mainly because I want to be able to load the bar heavy enough, which I can't quite do if I'm pulling myself forward. And it tends to let me get my lats in a position that feels good for me and mimics my squat. So, neutral position, I maybe pull the bar apart a bit, but really I'm just flexing my lats and that bar is sitting. I'm not really pulling on it one way or another. Lats are flexed, normal squat position, still driving my neck into that pad, out of the hole. Third one, this is the one that I think you can actually really mimic a straight bar squat more so than the other two. Able to load the bar a little bit heavier if need be. So this would be a good option if your elbows get beat up from a straight bar and you're using this as an option to not necessarily work on technique, but just give your upper body a break from that torque getting under a straight bar. So I'm gonna press it in this position, still tight lats, normal squat pattern, boom, straight back up. What I find is with this position, that bar, the weight tends to sit right over top of my hips. So naturally you can see why you'd be able to load it a little bit more and really mimic a competition squat. So that is my 2 cents. Do with it what you will.